Hey guys, my name is David and you are watching Stories Told. Today I am going to explain a thriller, drama, mystery movie called The Roommate. Please be aware, the video contains spoilers. We start the movie with Sarah arriving to her dormitory. She is assigned to room 360. The room looks very realistic, just like what you can expect from a dorm room. Sarah forgets she isn't 13 anymore and puts Taylor Swift posters on her wall. Two girls knock on the door to invite her to a party. She attends the party with her new friends when she bumps into Steven, another student. They start flirting when Tracy tries to strip for the Council of Men. Sadly, Sarah and Steven stops her before she reveals anything. They help her get back to her room and later, Sarah kisses Steven but he is a bit confused, so he leaves. Sarah enters her room and meets Rebecca, her roommate. They don't talk that night since Sarah feels bad after drinking too much. In the morning, Rebecca gives her pills for the headache. They go shopping together, when Jason, Sarah's ex-boyfriend, calls her. He wants to get back together with her but she isn't interested. She then introduces Rebecca to her friends, but Rebecca acts weird and rigid. Sarah attends Professor Roberts' design class and asks him if she can get the class on. He refuses first, as he refused many other students as well, but he quickly changes his mind as he is blown away how amazing her style is. Sarah and Rebecca is stalking other people online when Tracy enters the room and invites them to a party. Rebecca declines the offer and puts her earphones in. Two guys sends them drinks and another guy steals Tracy from Sarah. She isn't feeling good after being left alone and decides to leave. She calls Rebecca to meet up in a cafe. Becca invites her to the city the next day. They go to a museum where Rebecca says weird things. We learn that Sarah's older sister died when she was 9. Rebecca tries on her late sister's necklace when she isn't home. Sarah finds a stray cat and brings her to the room. They play with the cat and decide to adopt it when Sarah notices the necklace. She asks her to take anything but the necklace, as that is the only thing left from her sister. The next day, Sarah is working in the cafe when Steven enters and shows her how barbers used to cut hair back in 1998. Then he invites her to a party and leaves. Tracy apologizes for leaving her alone the other night. Rebecca surprises Sarah with 2 tickets for her favorite artist's exhibit, so Sarah cancels her date with Steven and agrees to go with Rebecca instead. She gives Rebecca earrings to wear that night. Her ears aren't pierced, so she has to do it caveman style. During night, Tracy runs out of water and heads outside. Rebecca's fortune teller classes paid off as she was already waiting for her in the door. She gives an unbelievably scary look to Tracy and leaves. The next day, Tracy tells Sarah about what happened the previous night. She doesn't believe her and walks away, but Becca noticed Tracy talking to her. Sarah then meets up with her old friend, Irene, who is already a successful woman in the fashion industry. She then invites Steven to dinner. Tracy is taking a shower when Rebecca enters the bathroom and turns off the lights. She then overpowers Tracy, tears her navel piercing out and threatens her to not tell anyone or else she will have to kill her. Tracy screams but the sound isolation in the dormitory is so good that no one notices it. The next day, they talk about Rebecca when Steven tells her he thinks she might love her in a different way. Rebecca stalks them through a window and proceeds to follow Steven. She forgets she isn't Bugs Bunny and starts doing stalker stunts. Tracy moved to another dormitory and refuses to spend time with Sarah. Steven and Sarah are on a date when they decide to do the adult stuff at Steven's place. Rebecca gets frustrated as Sarah isn't home yet. Sarah's ex-boyfriend calls Sarah but she left her phone home, so Rebecca answers and pretends to be her. They also do adult stuff but in a more modern way. When Rebecca had enough, she tells Jason to delete her number and never call her again. Sarah pays a visit to Irene. She gives her clothes and asks her to move in with her. Sarah then tells Rebecca that she might move out but she gets upset. Rebecca takes Puddles and puts her in the washing machine. When Sarah gets home, she lies that Puddles got out when she went to do laundry. Rebecca invites her to spend the holiday at her family's house but Sarah declines as Steven already invited her. Professor Roberts invites Sarah to Paris Fashion Week, as he thinks her talent is extraordinary. As she is thinking about the offer, Roberts kisses her. She then goes to Rebecca to tell her what happened. She asks her if she is going to tell Steven but she replies she'll keep it as a secret to not cause any more trouble. Rebecca goes to Roberts' office and teases him. He kisses her and falls for the trap. Rebecca pretends Roberts is hurting her and records it. She then takes away his privilege to have another child and leaves. The next day, Professor Jacobs take over the class. Steven and Sarah decide to stay for Thanksgiving. Rebecca starts beating herself and lies to Sarah that she got attacked on the street while looking for Puddles. She then begs for Sarah to not tell anyone, not even the police. Because of what happened, Sarah decides to spend Thanksgiving with her. Rebecca's parents greet them at the door, but Rebecca gives them the cold shoulder. They are having dinner when Dad tells Sarah she never brought anyone home, so she must be special. Becca and her dad having a conversation about nothing important in the kitchen, when Sarah starts to listen. The next day, her mom asks Sarah if Becca is taking her medication or not, but Becca cuts the conversation short. They go to a cafe where they meet 3 other girls. The girls look shocked and uncomfortable seeing Becca there. Sarah recognizes one of them from Becca's drawings and asks her about it. Becca then stands up and introduces Sarah to Maria. Maria then delivers the sickest burn of the century. She tells her they were never friends. They go back to the dormitory, and when Becca leaves, Sarah starts digging for clues. She finds a bottle of antipsychotics when Steven teleports behind her and touches her instead of calling her name like every normal person would do. Rebecca is filling up her car when the worker starts harassing her. She spills gas on him and threatens him with a lighter. Sarah and Steven look up the medicine and find out it is used to treat schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Irene is at a club and sees Rebecca dancing. They meet later in the restroom and compliment each other. They get to business real quick and leave to Irene's place. Sarah tries to visit her the next day, but she isn't answering. She heads home and asks Becca where she was all night. Becca says she was at the studio, studying. Becca asks her to go to a tattoo salon with her. She reveals her tattoo, which says Emily, Sarah's late sister's name. Becca tells her she can call her Emily if she wants. Sarah looks in disgust and leaves. She packs her stuff and leaves Becca, to move in with Steven. They can't find the necklace Emily left for her, and Steven goes back to look for it. Becca says she doesn't know where it is. Sarah gets a call from her ex-boyfriend. She declines, but Jason leaves a message that he is at her dorm room. He knocks on the door and we see Becca redesigning the furniture. He leaves a note with his address on it. Becca paints her hair black, takes Sarah's clothes and necklace and heads to the hotel address Jason left there. She steals a key and enters his room. She undresses and lays next to Jason. He is so excited to see his ex-girlfriend after months that he isn't even opening his eyes or checks who she is. Becca gets on top and stabs him multiple times while telling him Sarah doesn't love him anymore. Sarah gets a text from Irene to meet up as soon as possible. Steven calls Sarah and she tells him to meet at Irene's place, as she is concerned for her. Sarah finds the door open when she gets there. She enters the bedroom where Irene is tied up. Becca greets her with a gun. She tells her how she managed to get rid of her teacher, ex-boyfriend, Tracy, and even Puddles, the kitten. Sarah tries to apologize for leaving her alone in the dorm. Becca accepts the apology and tells her she only needs one best friend, so she starts suffocating Irene with a plastic bag. Sarah tries to intervene, but Becca hits her with the gun. Sarah hits her when she tries to apologize and she drops the gun. They fight on the ground, but Sarah manages to lock her out. Becca finds the gun and shoots the lock. She is about to shoot Irene when Steven teleports again and grabs her from behind. Sarah falls out of the window and the curtain holds her only. Steven only uses one punch to knock her out, as he is a white knight. He tries to pull Sarah back, but in just 5 seconds, Becca regained consciousness, found an object and hit him from behind. Becca pulls Sarah in, but Sarah pulls the gun on her. She is ready to shoot her, but the gun is empty. Becca then attacks her as she is disappointed. They fight for a while when Sarah delivers the line, "You were never my friend," and stabs her. She tries to take back the necklace, but Becca grabs her one more time just for the lols. Sarah then moves back to her dorm room and removes Becca's old bed. This was The Roommate. Thank you for watching. Please, don't forget to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video.